Silence doesn't just feel powerful. The moment you stop reacting, toxic people often start reacting instead. Here's why. When you go quiet, something shifts in them. Not because they stop caring, because they lose control. Toxic people don't run on love. They run on reaction. Your anger, your tears, your explanations, that's fuel. The moment you stop talking, you cut the supply line. What they fear isn't what you say. It's not knowing what your silence means. Here's a simple example. Think of a friend who always cancels plans last minute but somehow makes you feel guilty for being upset about it. Normally you'd argue, explain your side, try to make them understand. But one day, you just stop. No argument. No explanation, just silence. Watch what often happens next. They're the one calling, texting. Why are you acting weird? Suddenly they're putting in more effort than before. That's not remorse. It's panic. Here's the twist most people never notice. The chasing isn't really about you. It's about them losing their mirror. Toxic people often measure their own power through your reaction. No. Reaction means no scoreboard. They can't tell if they won, if you're hurt, or if you've already moved on. And that uncertainty unsettles them more than any argument could. This happens because manipulation depends on prediction. They know which words make you cry, which comments make you beg, which silence makes you chase. The moment you stop following that script, you become unreadable. And people who depend on control often struggle around something they can't predict. So sometimes they escalate. Bigger guilt trips, colder comments, not because they're confident, but because they're testing if you'll finally crack like before. If you don't, the dynamic begins to change. They start second-guessing themselves. Not always. Out loud, but often enough, doubt creeps in. Did I go too far? For someone used to being chased, being ignored can feel like losing their grip on the story they've always controlled. Your silence becomes a mirror they can't argue with. This is why silence isn't coldness. It isn't revenge. It's the moment you stop explaining yourself to someone who never truly intended to. Listen, and it doesn't need to be loud to work. It just needs to be consistent. The first time, they'll test it. If it continues, the version of you they could once control quietly stops existing. And that, more than anything you could say, is what finally gets through. Because some people only understand a closed door once you stop knocking from the other side. If you want to uncover more hidden patterns of human behavior, dark psychology, and emotional intelligence, subscribe to Human Mind Signals and turn on notifications, because once you learn to recognize these hidden patterns, people lose the power to use them against you.